Hello everyone, it's Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be the first ever episode of, let's go ahead and put it out there, will we? Let's go ahead. It's the first episode, hopefully maybe not the last, but maybe it will be, of Jeff's Jabber. Kind of looked for something that kind of went together with the J's and the J's, and I looked up the word jabber, and the definition actually reads, talks rapidly and excitedly, but with little sense. Well, I like the Jeff Jabbers tag. Maybe I won't make sense. Maybe I do make sense. And that's part of what this episode is going to be about. I'm going to talk just for a few minutes, guys. If you're going to roll out with me at home, go ahead and get your rig set up. We will be rolling out a strategy that is primarily a light-sided strategy, and I may run some DC come bets. It's one of the strategies that I've been working on based upon a all across the number working strategy. Jeff on the light side, imagine that. So look, guys, anyway, you know that Dylan from Skill and Luck and I, we run Craps Chats, and we do it for you every other Sunday for the Craps community. And I'm not speaking on Dylan's behalf, just solely Jeff. I'm just going to jabber about here for a few minutes. And I've been kind of like out of the scene for a couple of weeks, and coming up later this week, you'll find out the reason why. And I'll be back on the scene, hopefully, with some good quality videos that you can enjoy. But I've received, I don't want to call it hate mail or haters. I think somebody put in my comment one time, Jeff, don't worry about them, you always have haters. And I've noticed that several of the other YouTube content providers have also had their share of haters. You know, you hear people say when they go live, automatically there's a dislike right before the show starts. Well, you just have those people, they're just there. But what I've noticed here lately is that in the Craps community that is part of Craps Chat, part of the community, and I'm going to throw out there the Craps Nation group, and also part of the community that just participates with, there's probably a couple dozen of us that are regularly, that we appear on each other's show, we appear in the chats, we talk about it, we show up for Craps Chat on Sunday night, you show up for John's Coffee and Craps. And so, you know, those daily shows and weekly shows, you show up to the same bet over a Dave Carlin's show. And we're all there for one thing, and that is to further this community, further our knowledge of the game, and to also try to expand upon things that we may not understand or know. So as you know, I am truly a hybrid player with a tendency on the dark side. Some would disagree with that. One of my good friends disagrees with that, and I kind of find it humorous that he calls me what he calls me, but I don't take offense to that, guys, because if we can't poke and jab at each other and make fun of one another and have a good time about it, then we're doing something that's wrong. And with everything going on in the world today, well, let's just be nice to one another. And if you disagree with somebody's opinion, don't be nasty about it. You know, voice your opinion. Tell them why you think it's different, but don't call them names and entice them to send you a nasty reply. Guys, we're here for the same reason. And what I do in my job that you're going to hear about later in the week is just, you know, I'm kind of like the mediator, and I like to get along with everybody, and I like everybody to just kind of like, you know, just have the right to voice their opinion and just agree to disagree. And you've heard me say that many times on Craps Chat, as well as other chats and messages and other people's YouTube content providers shows. But this is going to be the first of Jeff's Jabber. A couple other shows out there that have somebody, and they kind of go off on a rant from time to time. And hopefully I'm not going to rant, because I really, truly want to bring to the table as not as an experienced player as some of you that are watching this, but from a recreational player of 20 years to a serious player of almost 3 years now. My style of play works for me. Your style of play works for you. It's great. If it's not working, continue to look at these YouTube channels and find something. Practice before you take the money to the casino and waste it. Everybody can't win all the time, and you've heard me say it many times that these YouTube channels, these content providers that are showing you winning strategies all the time, does not happen. It doesn't. It can't happen. You guys know it because you lose at the table. I lose at the table. I lost last week at the table. I tell you I lost at the table. I show you on my table I lost at the table. But in any event, what this first episode of Jeff's Jabber is just asking everybody to sort of get along and participate. And if you're in disagreement with somebody in a chat text, do it, you know, in a way that is maybe asking a question or maybe commenting in a non-condescending way so that that person won't get offended and, you know, type something right back that makes it seem like there's something wrong with you or them, and then you two get at it at the chat or whatever, and the next thing you know, the YouTube contenter that's providing the content is actually getting an email saying, why did you let that person on? Why did you promote that type of play? Why would you even have that person come on your show? Why would you even make a comment in something that you put on the show about somebody else? And I'm not going to point out any of the large scale channels, any of the large scale people that are out there for profit. If they want to make a profit at it, have at it. My channel is monetized, and my little $17.35 I got last month, I might buy a cup of coffee. Hell, I might buy you a cup of coffee at some point here in the near future. So with that said, I'm going to head on over here to the tables, but before we do, guys, I just want to remind you the time is running out. This is the last several days for you to register for the free entry into the Come Play With Us promotion at Mid-Atlantic Craps. Midnight, March 31st, the database goes off. You can't enter anymore, and we will be drawing a winner over the weekend, April 1st to April 3rd. When I find the time in there, we will be drawing a winner. All you have to do is go to midatlanticcraps.com, go to the promotion tab, and fill that out. And there's another tab there, guys, that is a promotion I tried to get in the month of March. It just didn't happen. If you want to go ahead and sign up for the 200 mulligan, go ahead in there, because we will be rolling that promotion out at some time. Okay, so now you know the name of the video, or this thing is just called Jeff's Jabber, but I am going to do a rollout, and I'm going to try to keep my jabbers to about 5 to 10 minutes. We're at 6 minutes and 50 seconds now, so why don't we just go ahead and head on over to the table. Okay, so we're going to be over here at the table, and at the table is let me get everything engaged here. Everything at the table, get everything on the table ready. It looks like I don't even have dice in the puck out. I just came in here and just decided to randomly just do this, guys. You know that I have a couple things that I have to do in order to get the rollout out there. And even in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see first episode of Jeff's Jabber. So, my puck was on from a video that I did over the weekend, a live video, a live stream, 3 hours on Friday night with several people in the audience, and we were going to call that Friday Night Fights. And fight as not in a bad thing, fight as in a good thing, as in we're going to take some subscribers, YouTube content providers want to come on here, and we are going to have either some type of elimination match between at least 3 people, get them all down. There's no prize, it's just bragging rights from a standpoint. I don't want to call it a tournament, because that's not what it is. I don't want to call it a competition, because it sort of is. It's just for fun. And this past Friday night, Skill and Luck, Dylan and I started out. Ray from Power Press Clips came on, and he came on as a third person, talking throughout the 3-hour broadcast, which I don't think the competition would be 3 hours. We would keep it much limited to that, maybe 3 shooters per person. Each shooter would be able to roll the dice 3 times. And we'll do it right here, kind of style with chips and chips and chips. So this coming Friday night, I don't know that he's going to show up, but I think Dylan from Skill and Luck is going to be here. Ray from Power Press is going to be here. I don't remember everybody else in the chat, but I do believe Vince Armenti said that he would come and join us Friday night. I haven't talked to Vince, haven't communicated with him since last Friday night. I've had a really busy week. Just decided to come in here, this being Monday night, the last week of March 2022. This is an all ab-lib portion, with the exception of this rollout that I'm doing now. Now, with this rollout, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. And I have a $1,600 bankroll. A little high for me, guys. I know it is. But the reason why I'm going with a $1,600 bankroll is because I'm going to be going across 162 to start this thing out and be working. And I'm going to try to do what I'm replicated in Win Craps. I'm having problems writing the script, kind of hoping I can talk to Vince and maybe John and a couple other people that know how to write the script there in Win Craps would be really nice. But I've done it on my phone app, and that's as random as I can get. That I can do. And I seem to be having some good luck, because I'm going to do the 162 across, and I am going to be bumping it up on a loss until I get into the profits. Once I get into the profits, I'm going to be playing somewhere between 66 and 96 across, turning my bets off early, trying to show a profit. My goal on this would be to get to a a 30% profit, 1,600 bucks, $480. So we're going to shoot for somewhere between $400 and $500 in profit. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to randomly shoot them all the time, all dice. I'm not going to worry about setting the dice up, but what I'm going to do is I am going to come out here with 162 across, and the reason why it's 2 is because I'm buying the 4 and the 10. And what we're going to do is try to get 3 hits and come down. We are going to press, and if we're not successful, so we get a profit, we're going to be working off the profit. As long as we get somewhere between $66 and $96, we'll press it up. Once we fall below that amount, we'll continue to go back to the 162 and see what happens. So with that said, there's the setup. Let's just see what happens. We've got my dice. Let's go over here to the table. Here we are at 10 minutes, getting the rollout on Jeff's Jabber. Oh boy, the first episode, probably the last 2, guys. I hope you get some pun out of that. I hope you get some sarcasm out of that. If you know me, I am a big jokester. I am a big practical jokester. I have big shoulders. I like to tease a lot. I like to play practical jokes, and I like to have them played on me. Dice are out. All right, there's a 628. Oh, by the way, guys, I was working on the come out. I think I told you that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put the bets out there. But I am working on the come out until I get to the 96 and 66 level. I'll decide. So there is a point of 8. Immediately going to make $35. And what we're going to do with this $35 is we are going to always be pressing the inside. So we'll break this quarter down a little bit. We're going to use the whole $35, which means I'm going to press and press, and $12 here and here on the 6 and the 8. So what we're going to have here is 30 on the 5 and 9 and 42 on the 6 and 8. Now, the goal is for us to get 3 hits at this level. If we get knocked off, we're going to bump this up. That's why we have a $1,600 bankroll. Now, Jeff, do you have a stop loss? Well, yes, I should have a stop loss. I'm just not sure what it is until I get there. That's the reason why Jeff's jabbering at home in his home studio, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Hope you all understand that. Dice are out. And there's a 639, 639. So we have 30 on it. It's going to pay us 42. 639. All right. And there's going to be times when I turn off and just wait for the red to come. So we're going to break this down again. So we're going to call that 42. That's close enough for me to say 10, 20, 30, 40. And we are going to have to take a couple more dollars out of our rack here to make that up to 54, I believe is where this goes to. Let me just make sure. Yep. So the 6 and 8 are going to be at 54. And the 5 and 9 are going to be, I'm supposed to be at 40 here, but we're going to go with 35. Just so you know, the 4 and 10 is always going to stay where it stays. And on the 6 and 8, just for those of you, because it's an unusual number, I'm not saying that you don't know this, but the 6 and 8 is going to pay 63 with the 54. And the 40... The 40 is going to pay 56, and it is an odd number at the table, so in case somebody gets a little confused, I just want to make you understand that there's no rhyme or reason to doing this. Jeff's just jabbering. What can I say? Dice are out. There's a 325. All right, so we made it to the 3 hits, and guys, it's actually 3 hits within a certain amount of rolls. Now, what those rolls are is up to you. I like to try to do at least 3 hits within 4 to 6 rolls. If you watched any of my hybrid style, you will see that I always have a limit before I turn bets off or come down. And ironically, today's episode of Pro Craps, John was talking about hedging and hedgers, and one of the things is hybrids series. And a lot of people, they don't understand my hybrid because they're not watching what I'm doing. On my hybrid, I reduce my bets. Very seldom do I press them up continuously, but I reduce them, and I take them down, and I turn them off. And that's the difference between a true hybrid player that always leaves everything up waiting for red to come, or waiting to get picked off, sniped off the don't pass. All right, so we had a 3-2. We have $40 on the bet. That $40 is going to pay us $56 in some beanolas here. So there's the 56. Now, what do? We've already made the profit on what we need to do We're going to leave it there. And this is what might where it get a little confusing in the casino, because dealer, because we're up at the moment and we know that the red is coming, we know it's coming, take me down to a 66 inside. All right, we're coming off the 4 and the 10. The 96 will come into play a little bit later on, guys. It will. Just bear with me with this. Sorry, I gotta get these chips put away. All right, so 66, and what we're going to do at this level, what I've been doing is I've actually been taking a couple hits before I press, because I know that red is coming. At what point red is coming, I don't know. Occasionally, once I get a couple hits, what I've been doing, practicing with, 6 and 8s I never take down. If the 5 hits, I'll pull it down. If the 9 hits, I pull it down. If I get continuous 8s on the 6 and 8, I'll pull these bets down. And then when I think I got enough, and I have this 36 up here, I'm going to place $80 to lay that, to protect that. And I know that seems counterintuitive, but really, it's just some things I'm working with, guys. Remember, this is Jeff's Jabber, and dice are out. Here's a 426. 426 is going to win us 21, and we're just going to go ahead and just rack that up. There is no reason to be in a hurry to get to wherever you're going. You're at the casino. You're there. You're playing. If you reach your 20 or 30% goal, whatever you may have, if you're a local player, so be it. If you're somebody that travels a while to get to a casino, this might work for you. It's just very conservative. I shouldn't say conservative. It is dangerous once you get picked off on that 162 to recover. But I've had some pretty good luck with this, guys. I'm always looking for something in my toolbox. I say I'm a hybrid player and I'm a dark side player, contrary to some people's beliefs. But you know what I've been doing now for the past 2.5 to 3 years has been working, and I've been able to grow my bankroll slowly and surely to a nice sum of money from a $600 initial deposit. And I can tell you guys, it is over 10 times that amount. Dice are out. How much is it, you say? Well, let's just say it's in the 5-digit range. There's midnight. It's not going to do us any good. Doesn't hurt us either. Now, as this roll continues, you know, you may see me, if I don't get some hits here, you may see me tell the dealer turn them off for a roll or two. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Anybody that plays the light sides and leaves your bets out here to be picked off every single time, you're going to wind up being a loser. Dice are out. I think when you're leaving here's a 9, 6, 3, 9. I think when you're leaving your bets out here, whether you pressed them up, regress back down, leaving them out, made your money, done whatever you said did, I think that you could add that category once you know that the red is coming. I think that you could actually call that into the bleeding category. A lot of people call the feel better bleeding category. A lot of people call the hybrid bleeding category. A lot of people do call hedging, whether you're doing a lay, you're doing a hot bet, some prop bet over here or something. It is what it is. So we're just going to rack this, guys. That's 2 hits. And what I'm going to do now, just to show you what I'm going to do, I hit the 9. Let's pull the 9 down. I don't have any room in my rack over here for that, so I'm just going to set that outside. So let's just see what happens here. All right, dice are out. There's a hard 4. Doesn't do us any good. Hard 4 if you're playing along at home. And you do know that I like to put $5 on the hard 4 and 10. Just to let it go, and it's just one of the things that I do on the side. I also play the ATS. A lot of people don't like the ATS. It's just something that I do. It's my pocket. It's my money. Have I won more money than I've lost on the ATS? Probably not, but I've had the ATS make up for some really bad days to come back to either above or equal to what I started with. Dice are out. Here's a 5, 3, 2, 5. All right, we're going to go ahead and pay ourselves $21 on the 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 5. And if you're wondering about this type of play and it's not your ball of wax, well, you know, there's other channels you can watch. But guys, this is where I think a lot of people make their problems on the light side, is by leaving stuff out there. Let's go ahead and take that down. Let's see if we get a couple more rolls before we actually are going to do a little hedge against that 36. Not that we have to, because we've won more than $36. Dice are out. There's a 6, 3, 9. There's another $21 we could have had. But we've turned it off. It's okay. We're not really worried about that. All right. Dice are out. And there's a 6, 2, 8. Another $21. All right. So the madness continues. And you're probably saying, well, Jeff, what's going to happen if this turns into a A 20 roller. Guys, how often is a 20 roller? It's far and few between. How often is a 30 roller? Hardly ever seen. I do know Big AZ rolled a 57 roll the other night, and that does happen. I've had, my biggest roll was a 62 at a local casino. Biggest roll here on the table is 54 that I've had, but on average, you know that it's coming. So what I look for is once we get to this shooter's count now is at, what's this, 10 or 11? I can't see my screen from where I am, so I have to switch screens just 1 second. This is going to be his 11th roll. So we know that he's due for the red, so why would we want to leave our money out there just so it can be, you know, picked off? But let's see what happens here. All right, 11th roll, dice are out. There's a 4-1-5. Okay, so that's 2 more rolls we could have made money on, and had we been pressing up our 160, yeah, we could be doing something. Oop, that was a point. That was a point made on the previous 8, guys. I apologize. I apologize for that. That was a point made. So that would have come off. And in this instance, I would have been off. I will not get paid for that because I've made my money. Now I'm back on with the 4-1-5. It was a 5. So the point's going to go to a 5. Sorry about that, guys. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing right now. So let me take a look here. All right. Dice are out. There's a 6-2, 2x4, a little bit more wood for our rack there. So that's going to be another $21. $21. All right, it's going to rack it, guys. So you see this pile is over here growing. Now you don't always get a roll like this, and you know, we'll see what happens on the next roll. If I have to reset this and come back and start all over again to show you that you don't get a roll like this randomly, dice are out. We'll do it. There it is, 5-2. And I stopped to not put my lay up here, whichever I was going to lay, the 4, 5, 9, or 10, just because I wanted to lose some money here. So I'm going to lose this $36. But guys, if you take a look at this rack over here, we started with 1,600. 1,600 is what we started with. And there's 1,000, that's 1,200. 1,200, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18. We're at, hold on, 1,000, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, we're just a little over $1,800 on our way to where we're going. Now, did we lose? This is the part where I'm struggling with. Am I going to come back out and put that $200 profit at risk? Not going to do the 200. What I am going to do, guys, is I'm going to tell the dealer to put me 96 and working. And we are going to repeat the same process with how many hits we take. And those hits are up to you. I'd like to get 3 hits in 4 to 6 rolls. But if it's not going to happen, it doesn't happen. We'll see what happens with this. I'm going to go ahead and show you that our bets are on this time because I didn't do that on the last time. So here we go. It's going to be a second shooter, and we'll see what happens with this. All right. 3 6s. We'll take the odd ones. The 5 and the 1 equals 6 as well. All right. Here we go. Dice are out. There's a 5, 3, 8. Now remember, we're working. 5, 3, 8. Let me get that into dice cam so you can see it. So that's a $21 winner. And we are going to go ahead and take that $21 and we're going to press it, which means the inside, we are going to take $1 out of our rack. Take $1 out of our rack and we're going to press it up. And we're always pressing the inside on those 3 hits, and then we come down to whatever foundation we want to be at. We may want to leave this at the 96 level. You may want to come back down to the 66. Totally, it's up to you. All right, here we go. Dice are out. There's a hard 4. Hard 4. Right. Hard 4. It's going to pay us $27. I'm going to go ahead and take the 27. We're going to press the inside again. So we're going to need 22 of that 27 to press this. So if you're keeping track, you now know that this is truly at the green level, but I'm not going to take the green chips off, guys, because I'm going to go back down if we're fortunate enough to get another hit. All right, let's see what happens here. Dice are out. And there's a 426, so we're fortunate enough to get that hit. We have 30 on it. It's going to pay us 35. 426. We're going to get paid 35. And this is the part where I struggle back and forth. I want to regress now. I've made my money, so I'll take it back down to the table minimums. But since I came out with 96, I'm kind of struggling with, do I stay at 96 or do I pull the forward 10? So what I've been doing, kind of going back and forth with, is I've want to be able to capitalize on the 4 and the 10s, but they're not as important to me as everything else. So, oops, too much of a chips. So what do we do? I hope the point was an 8. Yes, it is an 8. I didn't put the puck over, didn't turn it on. That's what happens when you don't turn the puck on. Instead of relatively to the saying, get the puck. Well, you guys get it. All right, so pull the forward 10, save yourself $30. You know, you've already made enough to cover what's out there. What do you want to do? This strategy is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And yes, Jeff is playing on the light side, and he's actually jabbering about what he's trying to do here. Imagine that. Guys, I get a lot of comments when I think out loud what I'm doing here. Some of you don't like it because I talk a lot, but that's why they call me the voice. But a lot of people, I get a lot of good comments because they get into my mind as to seeing how a recreational player turned serious player thinks. Dice are out. And I don't have deep pockets, guys. My bankroll that I tell you about is a 314. Had we taken that down, we would have lost. My bankroll that I told you I built, it is specifically there to pay for my traveling away from home when I go and gamble. And that's when my bankroll sometimes goes down because I pay everything, including expenses, out of that. So my $600 bankroll, $600 to $1,000 bankroll is normal what I play with, and I have several local players that can contest to that. Okay, we're just going to rack that. We've got everything out here paid for. It really doesn't matter. Let's just see how long this goes before we start taking some of it down, because this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th roll. This is a 6th roll, almost on average. Dice are out. There's another 4. 3, 1, 4. So what am I going to do with this? Since I've hit the 4 twice, I know Waylon's loving these 4s. What I'm going to do with this is pay myself $27. And sometimes I pull down the sister numbers, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull down the 4 and take it out of play, reducing my exposure somewhat reducing my exposure. Let's see what number we have left, because I want to get down to just have my 6 and the 8 in play against the red. And if I've made enough to cover that $36 plus whatever else, every shooter, I'm earning somewhere between, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks if you don't get sniped off or early, up to, as you see, a couple $100 that we made just a minute ago. Here we go, dice are out. And there's an 8, 6, 3, 8. It doesn't look like the 10 is going to show up, let alone the 5 or the 9. But we're going to do 2 things here, 5, 3, 8. It's going to pay me $21. And because we haven't hit the 10, I'm going to start picking these numbers off just to reduce my exposure, because we know that the red is coming. All right. So whatever we hit the next time, if I hit the 6, I'll pull the 5. If I hit the 8, I'll pull the 9. If we hit the 9, we pull the 9. Hit the 5, we pull the 5. The 6 and 8 will always be out there, and that should be the point. Always forget to do that. All right, points off. So we are off on this come out. There's no need for us to be on this come out. I know some of you are going to say, well, Jeff, you said you're always on. I'm on when I'm on those big come outs, guys, because we have just come off a 7 out or 0.7 out or a red. That's the only reason why I'm on those come outs, is I'm coming on because we just experienced a red. All right, yes, I know about the chances. I know about the 17%. I know about the 22% if I was on the don't pass. Dice are out. So we're off there. The point's going to roll to the 6. All right. So somebody could call that a wasted roll, but it's not, because we've already made our money. Dice are out. And there's a 5, 3, 8. So this time I'm going to take this 5, 3, 8. Going to pay myself $21. $21. I'm going to take down, that's the neighboring, not the sister, but the neighboring number, which is going to be the 9, because we know it's coming. So, you know, we went from 96, and look at this. We've already got $100 and some won on this shooter, less what's exposed out here. So we'll see what happens. Dice are out. And there's a 5, 4, 9. All right, we did come down. It's not a big deal. We've made our money. Don't be greedy. Can't win on every roll. If you're a craps junkie that wants action on every roll, this isn't the channel or the video for you. Dice are out. There's a 5, 4, 9. Back-to-back nines. Look like I took down the wrong number now, doesn't it? 5, 4, 9. All right, dice are out. And there's a 5, 1, 6. So with that, I'm going to take down its neighbor. I'm never going to take the 5 and the 6 down. I'm sorry, the 6 and the 8 down. I will be taking the 5 down this time just to kind of save some money. Now, I never pressed these up this time, guys. Remember, we went from 96 up and then down. There's no need to press. Don't get greedy. Well, you can if you want to. Look at the red chips over here, guys. Even if we lose this 36, we've still won $100 on this shooter. How much do you really want to win on the shooter? Well, everybody says a lot, but you know, these are two extraordinary shooters. Dice are out. And there's another 9. All right, I think we've gone long enough. Let's go ahead and say we're going to protect this 36. Let's just say that. We haven't seen a 10, but we've seen a 4. So let's just hypothetically say I'm going to take... I just want to win $40 back, so I would be happy with just laying the I don't know if I even want to go 80. I'm going to lay the 10 just for 60, and the big on that would still be $2. That'd be $1, right? 20, 30. Yep, so it'd be $1. Not enough room in there, so we take that back, and let's just see what happens here. So. You know, if this roll continues to go along and it becomes a long roll for everybody at the table, hey, more power to them. Dice are out. But we know that it's coming. There's a 415. I'm not going to get paid. So once I get sniped off that 10, those bets will come down until we 7 out. I think I failed to tell you that. Did I put that in there? Not sure what that was. So we're going to put that in there as that. Dice are out. And there's a 415. I think it was back-to-back 415s actually, but I'm going to put that in there again. And we're just kind of like just waiting. Everybody at the table's hooting and hollering and, you know, come on, shooter, let's go. Dice are out. Meantime, our bankroll is intact. There's AC Doocy shocker. All right, AC Doocy. All right, dice are out. And there's the 7 out. Okay, cool. Worked the way I wanted it to work. I could have got sniped off the 10 and lost 60 of the profit we made, but we made way more than 60. And when that happened, we would have just pulled our bets down and been done with it. Okay, so we're gonna win $30 on that lay. $30. All right, take it all down. Since we are up, we play on the profits. We're not going to put the 162 out there. I'm going to go one more shooter with the 96 level, and I'll come back with another video. Maybe even play this Friday night during the Friday night fights if we get some people to show up to play with us on this coming Friday night. And maybe I'll play this strategy then as well, just to see what happens. I don't want to call it a strategy. I'm just playing this out here. It's based off other people's strategies. You know, 160 and a couple hits and down. You have to decide how many hits you want to have. So once again, we will be on this come out because we just came off a 7 out. Now, just because we came on a 7 out doesn't mean we can't have back-to-back 7 outs, guys. How many times do you see those? This will be the last shooter in this video, guys, just so you know that. All right, here we go. Dice are out. There's a hard 4. I was really hoping for a 7 out just so I could go to the 160 level, but it didn't happen in this video, so we'll try it again in another video. Oops, what did I just do? Put the wrong numbers in there, guys. Hard 4. It's a hard 4 for you guys playing along at home. Hard 4. It's going to pay us 27. Oops, I meant to take that off. So I'm just going to take the 30 for 2 because I've got enough out here. I think 30 for $2, and that $30 would go as such 10. That's 10, 20, 30, and then we're going to go ahead and add the 2 on top of that. So now we are at 20 and 30 on the 6 and the 8. I always up the 6 and the 8, guys. You don't have to. If you feel more comfortable with the 5s and the 9s, just press whatever you want to press. All right, that's our first hit. Let's see what happens here. Dice are out. And 527 right out. Okay, guys, that's fine. I mean, you're still going to see that we are going to win money on this strategy, and I'll come back with another video. I just won't call it Jeff's Jabber because I jabbered in the beginning of the episode randomly about some things I've seen going on in the community. here recently on some of the other channels. And I like everybody to be friendly. And if you have a different opinion, I just like people to just, you know, respect the other person's opinion and not call them names and say their play is silly or dumb or whatever. So let's see what we have here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, we're not up as much as what I thought because we lost at 96, but I still think that this play wasn't bad for 3 shooters. So there's our starting bankroll right there. Thought we were up a little more than that. These reds might be add up to be close to 200. We did lose the 96. We didn't get hit on that. So let's see what we got here. Oops. Not as much as what I had anticipated, but there's 75. There's another 100. So 200, 225, 35, 40, $243 in 3 shooters. Let's go over here to the board and take a look at what that equaled. So that equaled 31 rolls on a very hot table. And you probably on the light side were playing more than that, and that's okay if you were playing more than that, because this was just the way that I like to do what I'm trying to do with this 160, and always be playing with the profits, lowering it down. Once I get hit, I'm going to come back to the 96 or 66 level down. Once I get hit, I'll always start at the 96 if I'm above my starting level, or the 162 across, buying the 4 and 10 on the inside, guys. I don't know if you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the first few minutes. Hopefully I'll get some comments about, hey guys, let's treat everybody with respect and just be wonderful to everybody and respect their opinion even though you disagree with it. I think that would make this community so much more better. Guys, till next time, for a couple more days, I'll tell you the reason why I do this. Here's my outro, guys. Till the next time, guys, as always, please, I want you to be safe. Play smart.